from November 29 to December 1, 2021. The 11th session of the BNC will feature deliberations across 8 working groups, each focusing on a specific area of mutual interest. These include political consultations, consular and migration, banking and finance, defense and security, manufacturing, social sector, mines and energy, and trade and investments. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, indicates that the high-level meeting officials of both countries will sign several memoranda of understanding and agreements. The Nigeria-South Africa Binational Commission was established in 1999 to further strengthen the ties of friendship and cooperation between the two nations. The BNC provides a platform for sustaining high-level dialogue and promoting cooperation in critical areas such as diplomacy, economy, trade, security, and other areas of mutual interest. President Tinubu is to return to the country after the BNC meeting. And now Nigeria and France have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop joint projects to promote and diversify the critical minerals value chain in the solid minerals sector of both countries. In the memorandum of understanding on the sidelines of the official visit to France by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, both countries agreed to collaborate on research, training, and Franco-Nigerian students' exchanges for knowledge and skills transfer. A key component of the MOU is the promotion of sustainable mining activities by executing projects and programs that reduce the environmental impact of mining on carbon emissions, water consumption, and climate change. It also includes the establishment of joint extractive and processing projects through co-financing by public and private entities to diversify and secure the supply of critical minerals and decarbonize energy projects. Critical to the value chain, the MOU is expected to open new opportunities for the remediation of over 2,000 abandoned pits in the country through its plan to intervene in environmental rehabilitation and post-mining projects. And we are still in commemoration of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs is seeking the intervention of religious institutions to drive home the message that violence against women and girls has a chain reaction that hinders growth and development. Ngozi Technical reports that the message is central at a special Jumat prayer and church service organized as part of activities to mark the 2024 event.
That all hands must be on deck to put a stop on the pain inflicted on women and children as a result of violence informs the special appeal by the Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, at the Friday Jumat's prayer at the National Mosque, Abuja.
It's a monster within us. It's very important that we express the zero tolerance towards abuse to our women, our children, and abuse in families.
Islam has actually given women priority.
Similarly, at the Living Faith Church, Jain, where the minister was represented by the permanent secretary of the ministry, the congregation is urged to treat women with love and care to enable them actualize their God-given potentials.
We want to encourage the men, our men, to please be patient with our other genders.
We're joining hands in these 16 days of activism against gender-based violence to say that even the church itself is against that violence. The Word of God admonishes us to restrain from things that are violent.
The theme, no excuse. All must unite to end gender-based violence against all gender for a better society remains food for thought. Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
After 35 years in Brazil, a businessman based in the South American country has returned to Nigeria with 700 grams of cocaine buried in his stomach. This is among other illicit drug busts in some parts of the country during the week. Sawa Khalil Ibrahim tells us more.
The 59-year-old businessman was arrested on Friday, 29th November 2024 at the E-Arrival Hall of the Lagos Airport upon his return from Sao Paulo, Brazil. After a plenary investigation which confirmed foreign substance in his stomach, the suspect was placed under excretion observation, during which he expelled 29 wraps of substances that tested positive to cocaine weighing 700 grams. The suspect claimed he operates an African store in Brazil where he sells provisions, shoes and clothes. In Kano, NDLEA operative on Thursday, 28 November, arrested 3 suspects with 2,000 ampoules on pentazocine injection and 3,135,000 pills of Exol 5 at Gadar Tamburawa Zaria Road. Similarly, no fewer than 2,120 kilograms of Ghanaian loud, a strong strain of cannabis produced in Ghana, were intercepted by NDLEA operatives in Lagos on Thursday, 28 November. With the same vigor, command and formation of the agency across the country continue their war against drug abuse, among other sensitization activities in public places. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Following the devastating impact of this year's flood in communities in Bayelsa State, the federal government has shown concern by giving out palliatives to cushion the effects of the natural disaster to the affected people. Minister of Regional Development, represented by Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Shuaib Daugora, handed over the presidential support to the state government for distribution. Aya Prezi was there.
Presidential palliatives to be distributed to the 2024 flood victims in Bayelsa State are livelihood items such as motorcycles, sewing machines, and consumables. Representative of the Minister of Regional Development, who is also the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Shuaibu Dagora, while handing over the items to Bayelsa State government, expresses the hope that the items will serve the desired purpose.
This is supposed to help them to recover and to get back into the system, be able to provide for their livelihood, as well as be able to have some food till at least they are able to get back on their feet.
The formula for distribution of the palliatives will be 50% through the state government, while the remaining 50% will be shared through the traditional institution and other critical stakeholders. In Yenagua, Aya Prezi, NTA News.
And from Yenagua, we go to Jigawa, where the state governor, Umar Namadi, has acknowledged the efforts of the state lawmakers in enrolling out-of-school children in their constituencies, which is in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu and 12-point agenda of the state government. This was when the Speaker of the State House of Assembly enrolled 300 children into school. Awal Muhammad Kazauri reports.
So that 10.5 million children in Nigeria aged 5 to 14 years are not attending school. The situation, according to experts, may have adverse effects to nations' socio-economic stability. Addressing this crisis requires collective efforts from government officials, non-governmental organizations, and communities, among other critical stakeholders. The goal is to ensure that every child has the opportunity to education and untimely contribute to societal development. Jigawa lawmakers have a crucial role to play in addressing the education crisis within their jurisdiction by initiating targeted programs and policies to directly influence enrollment rates and promote educational development. Speaker Haruna Ali Dangatun, representing Miga constituency, has taken proactive measures to combat the challenge of out-of-school children in his constituency. This is as he directed other lawmakers to do so.
That's why we engage all the stakeholders, the district heads, the village heads, even the ward heads, and even the imams of the various of the Jumar mosques of NTA local government, so that they can preach in the Friday prayer mosques to tell the parent the importance of education.
The speaker targeted 8,000 out-of-school children in his constituency under the initiative supported by UNICEF. Stakeholders of the event described the initiative as a commitment in implementing local solutions against poor enrollment of children in schools, giving assurance that it will go a long way in making a difference towards addressing key educational challenges.
As you are aware that 32% of our budgetary allocation to 2024 goes to education, and this is the highest in the country.
As part of the initiative, 300 children enrolled at the initial phase of the program. Each received essential support to participate in their schooling program. This includes preschool bags, uniform materials, and financial assistance, among other support received. Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
Katsina State Government has unveiled plans to revamp 10 megawatts wind farm in Lamba Remi after nearly 2 decades of non-functionality. The state governor, Dr. Diko Umar Rada, made this known during a meeting with Vegnet Group, the original equipment manufacturers. Dr. Rada said the government is committed to working closely with the company to rehabilitate these viral assets and restore its capacity to support the state's growing energy needs. The governor states that his administration remains dedicated to ensuring its sustainable operation in line with Nigeria's Renewable Energy Master Plan and the 2060 net zero goals. Similarly, the state government has also signed a memorandum of understanding with a French-based company to expand access to sustainable electricity. The state governor, Diko Umar Rada, and the special advisor to the governor on power and energy, Hafiz Ibrahim Ahmed, signed the MOU following critical engagements with development partners and industry experts. In line with these objectives, Governor Rada revealed plans to establish a mini hydroelectric power station as part of a pilot project focusing on providing reliable and renewable energy to local communities and to serve as a model for future hydroelectric developments across the state's 43 dams. Governor Rada maintained that the pilot project located in Danja Dam is designed to provide energy to critical local infrastructure, including irrigation systems, a water treatment plant, small and medium-scale enterprises, and households. The Nigeria Customs Service is sustaining its commitment to strengthening Nigeria's position as a trade-friendly nation through effective customs services. Comptroller General of the service, Adewale Adeniyi, said this at the 2024 CGC Awards ceremony in Abuja, an event to celebrate professionalism and unwavering commitment that birthed another year of records, exceeding the annual national revenue target of 5 trillion naira. Olusheye Adeagbo reports.
It is a gathering to reflect on all-round year efforts that have given a facelift to the Nigeria Customs Service, which has been in the vanguard of trade facilitation. In November 2024, the service announced that it has collected 5.7 trillion naira in revenue, exceeding the 5 trillion naira target. And for the custom boss, each individual here has made an indelible mark to these and other achievements.
Our mandate is still the same. Everything that we needed to do to generate revenue for the country, make our country safe, and improve the environment where business is conducted, we will ask every officer and men to do more of that in 2025.
Through a well-designed center for a dinner night with lightning displays, it is an evening of acknowledging support with the CGC Awards presented to key players that have contributed significantly to ensuring efficiency of the nation's trade and border security.
The Nigerian Customs Service has done quite a lot to the Nigerian economy. Let me, however, remind you that the recognition you are getting today serves as a catalyst to continue to strive for excellence in service.
We support them a lot with all forms of motivations, and they have been able to do tremendously in the areas of revenue generation.
1% of our patients in the custom hospital in Karo are civilians, and therefore that's part of the service corporate social responsibility. And so today we are very happy that we are serving the community and will continue to do more.
It goes to show that, all the achievements, all the efforts we've made in Nigeria is recognized.
while the awardees are quite fascinated with the recognition and pledge to keep playing parts that will realize the core objectives of the service, comes the climax of the awesome evening, parading Nigerian entertainment stars. And the bank is with Chinedu Okoli, better known for his stage name Flavor, as the floor opens for dance, and it's indeed party after party. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Adequate knowledge is vital for the formulation of valuable policies and propelling good governance. Against this backdrop, leadership experts want those heading organizations in Nigeria to advance knowledge and skills through right training to drive development for the country. Joseph Otsen reports.
Though leadership experts have proven that leaders and followers both play a crucial role in steering good governance, they believe a leader with advanced knowledge and skills galvanizes and brings the best out of the followers.
With dedication, with passion, you are likely to inspire people who will do their bit, and when we harness our collective talents, our collective efforts, our collective endeavor, that is how countries grow.
To improve leadership quality in the country, Nigeria's Tertiary Education Trust Fund decided to establish more centers of excellence responsible for research and teaching of leadership and public governance.
Small-scale businesses.
This initiative gave birth to the Abuja Leadership Center 2 years ago. At its 14th leadership series, the major message is centered on moving Nigeria beyond hope.
So what is the hope all about? How do we articulate this hope? How do we bring this hope to bear on the life of the citizens? How do we bring the hope President Tinubu is talking about on the economy, on our political system?
I've learned a lot of skill. I've learned how policy are formulated and implemented.
Those people in government need such a center for them to be able to actually transform their policy into reality.
One of the key requirements to acquire a master's degree at the center is for students to go back to their communities to mentor, educate, and inspire young Nigerians through a program called Leadership Youth Clinic. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Promoting Nigeria's unique identity and local content is not about displaying the nation's pride, but crucial to the nation's growth and development. This was re-echoed at an award ceremony by the Nigeria Internet Registration Association. Diana Ajali reports that the largest television network in Africa, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, was awarded the Best Electronic Media for the year 2024.
It was a celebration of lifetime achievements for many gathered in this hall. Industry players from all walks of life converged on Lagos to celebrate with one another. The award, which comes in different categories, began with the Best Online Media Website, followed by Best Print Media. The largest TV network in Africa, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, clinched the award for Best Electronic Media. Executive Director, Special Duties, NTA, Ibrahim Aliyu, says the station will continue to do more in promoting indigenous quality contents, support educative programs, entertainment, and a lot more, while upholding standards for the good of the nation.
It's another historical event to create more avenue to also contribute more of our quota toward the developmental process of this country. NTA is going to partner with them to ensure that each of their policy has been executed effectively.
Organizer speaks on the importance of the awards.
It's a way of appreciating them for adopting .ng and promoting our national symbol. In relation to NTA won as well, and that shows because we've seen what NTA has done, and people nominated NTA. We are not the ones that handpicked NTA. So we believe that as much as more companies, individuals, and companies adopting .ng, we are going to continue to do what appreciate them.
Nigeria Internet Registration Association NIRA Award is a platform initiated 7 years ago to appreciate organizations from across the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation, championing Nigeria's identity identity cut across private organizations, states, as well as federal government firms, aiming to encourage more Nigerians to adopt the promotion of the true Nigeria identity. In Lagos, Diana Ajali, NTA News.
Cote d'Ivoire's 2025 presidential election aspirants increase in number as Gulf Summit calls on international community to objectively project UN Security Council resolutions around the world. Kolo Mohammed brings us details on these and other stories on Global Update.
The new presidential hopeful, Simone Hivet, won the nomination of her party, the Movement for Capable Generations, at a congress in her native town of Mosul in the country. In her acceptance speech, Hivet listed national reconciliation through amnesty, food security, and industrialization as her priorities. Lauren Gbagbo and Simone divorced in June 2023 after 34 years of marriage and decades of joint activism. Former President Gbagbo, acquitted in 2019, has also accepted the nomination of his party to run for president in 2025. The incumbent President Ouattara, who was elected in 2020, is yet to say if he is running or stepping aside. And as the Gulf bloc meets, the summit underscores the importance of collective action amongst nations in the region. In unison, the Gulf has called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. In the opening speech, the Emir of Kuwait called on the international community to play an unbiased role in implementing UN Security Council resolutions around the world. He echoed support for a permanent solution regarding the Middle East major crisis, pointing out that the emergence of a two-state will eventually bring permanent peace in the region. And the new dawn in Iceland. Democrats, led by Kristrún Frostadóttir, gained 25 seats in 63-seat parliament with 20% of votes. Kristrún, 36, took over as party leader 2 years ago and has championed the Nordic welfare model, vowing to tackle a cost of living crisis sparked by high inflation and borrowing costs. However, the Independence Party, led by Prime Minister, came second with 19.4% of votes, gaining 14 seats after a late surge in support. Kolo Mohammed, NTA News.
Colorful and exciting best describe the atmosphere at the main bowl of Moshood Abiola National Stadium, venue of the closing ceremony of the second African Military Games, as participants from 20 African countries, including the host country, Nigeria, spiced up the evening with a variety of activities. Ijoma Peter Mwante brings us a recap of the night.
The second African Military Games in Abuja, with the theme Enhancing Military Cooperation in Africa Through Sports, came 22 years after the first edition was held in Nairobi, Kenya. After 12 days of intense competition in 19 sports among the 20 participating African countries, the curtains came down on the Games with a colorful closing ceremony at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Aside from the rich cultural displays and other razzmatazz, there was a farewell parade by all participating countries.
Truly, there's a mesh
picture of unity that has been built by reason of these games. So I really want to commend the Nigerian military for taking the initiative and the President and Commander-in-Chief, who is the grand patron of the games, for sponsoring this.
The weight, 300 grams, the design exactly took about 6 weeks to complete the design, and of course about 6 weeks to complete the making of the gold and the silver and the bronze medals.
Virtually all the countries won one medal or the other, but of course Nigeria, being the host country, is leading in the medal table. Of course it is expected, Nigeria being the largest of West African country, what do you expect? So I think so far so good is a good one.
The event also featured awards of honor to deserving individuals who made AMGA 2024 a reality. Top among them was President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Others include the founders of the Organization of Military Sports in Africa and former service chiefs. While declaring the games closed, Vice President Shettima said there is no doubt that the spirit of sportsmanship has been exhibited in all the games.
For making the sacrifices to leave your comfort zones and travel to Nigeria for this significant event, I trust that your expectations have been met, and I hope your experiences here have justified your commitment.
The event climaxed with the dousing of the game's flame and lowering of the Osman flag as the third and second place trophies were presented to Kenya and Algeria respectively, with overall champions Nigeria getting their winner's trophy, which sparked fireworks to signal the end of the games.
Very heartwarming there. Now, the remains of President of the Senate in the Second Republic, the late Joseph Wayas, have been laid to rest. At the funeral service in Cross River State, Governor Basiotu says he lived an exemplary life, one that was impactful, pledging that the state will continue to uphold the legacies of the man he describes as a colossus who died at the age of 80. Justina Etem reports.
It is a gathering of distinguished personalities as Governor Otu joins others in support of the family of the deceased at their moment of grief.
David Wayas grew, despite all the challenges, the inhibitions, to rise to the position of the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That death is no more an ordinary death.
Expressing her grief, wife of the deceased says she is consoled that late Wayas lived a fulfilled life.
They say they give honor to whom honor is due. I believe at this stage, the visitors who have come have been wonderful. I thank them for spending their time to be with us.
Earlier, at a night of tributes, Senate President Godswill Akpabio extols virtues of the deceased.
We led the Senate that forged a very cordial relationship with the executive arm of government without losing sight of its constitutional responsibility of oversight and majorly checking the excesses of the executive and balancing the equation to ensure political stability.
Late Senator Joseph Wayas is said to have created impact in the Nigerian political sphere, having co-founded the National Party of Nigeria and was the Commissioner for Transport in the defunct southeastern states, as well as became the 4th President of the Nigerian Senate. From Obanliku local government area, Justina Etem, NTA News.
And as the news segment, we'll be taking a break, and then Claire will return for Newsline Proper. But before then, let me ask Claire, I guess you'll be very happy that Nigeria military won in the games, right?
Oh, yes. Thanks for asking. I was so excited, especially the relay race between the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, and of course the Navy. At first, Nigerian Army was coming third, but suddenly I was very happy. But let's take a short break, and of course this line will continue in a moment.
Ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it access to the right information,
Call the NTA free number.
As part of NNPC Limited's digital strategy, which seeks to enhance business capabilities, maximize competitiveness, and drive better performance, NNPC Limited will be transiting to a cloud-based procurement system on SAP Ariba network from the 1st of January 2025. To achieve a smooth changeover, our esteemed suppliers